Welcome back. It's your boy John, MrLiveLee, coming at you live. Coming at you not live. This is only a recording. Hello, YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being here. We are diving into a brand new journey. I want to tackle this game called Colonist, which stems from Settlers of Catan, my absolute favorite board game of all time. So, Colonist is a browser game that has converted Settlers of Catan onto the internet, and you can play it on the browser. And it's awesome because it's accessible to everybody. That's the beauty of a browser game. And so we're going to dive into not how to play Settlers of Catan and how to play Colonist, because there's so many amazing videos already out there that teach you how to play Catan. And so today we're actually just going to focus on the user interface of colonist.io. If you're new and you want to get into playing Catan on the browser, it's actually pretty intuitive and it actually gives you a lot of the directions. But I figured let's have a video out there just to help explain, so that if you don't want to troubleshoot and figure things out on your own, you can just watch this, learn exactly what you need to know in order to have the most fun, in order to get playing right away. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first, we got to get to the site. So what I'll do is open up Google and then I'll go straight to colonist.io. Enter it here, and this is the page that you will land on. So first off, we'll start at the top left corner. You'll see a Learn to Play button. Now, if you click this, you're directed to their Learn to Play on how to play on colonist.io. Basically, they're going over how to play Catan, the key objectives. You see the directions here, how to play, all things of that nature. The only issue is this is an outdated video, so they haven't really updated this, and the graphics are very different from what it actually is now. And so you can use this; it's still very helpful. But I just figured let's do it with the updated version. Next up here, you have tournaments. You can click here and it'll open up tournaments. You can join and sign up for these tournaments that are happening pretty frequently, and you can actually submit your own tournaments too if you want. Now, moving over to this right top corner, you can actually submit your very own YouTube videos. So hopefully I'll submit this video and hopefully they like it and it'll be featured. But once you click the link, for example, let's click it and you'll be redirected to this page. Now, this is the top creator in Catan. This man is delighted. He is an awesome creator. He does everything surrounding Catan. He's a top player in the world, and he does an amazing job at creating these videos that really dive into the mindset, the strategy, and everything that goes into his thought process on how he plays the game, how he dissects things, and how he strategizes against his opponents. So I really recommend looking at his channel. If you like Catan and love the strategy aspect, go follow Delighted. He's awesome. Can't wait to work with him more. Hopefully he sees this and he likes what he sees. All right, going back, let's go back to Colonist. Now at the very right top corner, you'll see the metrics of the server as we speak. So let me refresh the page real quick. And as of right now, there's 2,537 people online, up 2,532 people online. And this is pretty cool just to see the live metrics of what's going on the site. So now we'll move on to the bottom right. As you can see, these are all the social media icons for Colonists. They have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Reddit, and YouTube. So make sure to connect with Colonists on all the different platforms. It's an amazing community. And then all the way at the bottom here, you'll see blog, the press kit, contact, patch notes, suggestions, store, and contribute. So these are all pretty self-explanatory. We'll dive into a little bit more primarily on the store aspect of it, but there's other ways that you can connect and consume all this Colonist content. All right, so now let's start off with these join our Discord banners on the side that you see here. Now this Discord, I highly recommend joining it. It is amazing. This is an amazing community, and I cannot emphasize this enough. It's such a welcoming and just awesome community that really just loves the game of Settlers of Catan, loves the platform Colonist, and I've met a lot of great people through it. I've played in a few tournaments, I think one or two, but I only played like the first round because I just didn't have the time commitment to finish it out. But let me show you what this Discord looks like. So when you click on the Discord, you'll be redirected to your Discord app. Now, this is ridiculous. I've never seen a Discord with this many members. As you can see, there are 20,445 members on this Discord server. So Colonist.io has a huge following. People love it. You could talk game, you can talk strategy, you can just talk life if you want to. So it's a great welcoming community. Highly recommend joining if you want to get more into Colonist, maybe even getting into the competitive scene. So highly recommend. All right, so now let's move on to the lobby chat right here. This window, this is basically everyone that's doing the same thing as me, just hanging out, looking around the main page. We're in the lobby so we can chat. So I can say, hello, everyone. Hope you are having a great day. Smiley face. And I can type that. Everyone in the lobby can now see that. And hopefully we get a response throughout the video. But this is just a cool way to chat. And you can meet up and, organize a game with people if you want to. Next, we'll look at our profile section. So right here, as you can see, this is my profile. You basically will create an account, you'll verify it and all the normal stuff. Here's my name. You can edit it by just clicking on the pencil icon. You can edit your icon by also clicking on the pencil icon. And this is karma. Now, karma is basically a record of your previous 20 games, and it basically tells you how many games you've completed out of how many games that have been played, like existed. So if you've been a part of 20 games and you played all 20, you'll have a karma of 2020. Karma is just a great way to notify other players how much they can expect from you. Will you be a consistent player in the sense that you'll stay and stick it through and play throughout the entire game? Or are you someone that will likely leave a game early and not come back? So it can kind of dictate if you want to have that player in your game, because if they leave, a robot will replace them, an AI robot, and that robot can definitely be manipulated in order to benefit you or other players in the game. So it doesn't really feel fair and it's not as competitive anymore. So generally you want to have a high karma. 2020 is the best karma you can get. So try not to leave games prematurely. And obviously you have the login and log out feature. Right below this panel, you have get new icons, but this panel actually changes. Earlier today, it was try out the 5 to 6 person map. But basically what this will do is it'll move you towards the store, which we'll go into the store a little bit deeper, but this will basically be some sort of promo for Colonist in order to help encourage you to expand your profile, get access to more maps, more expansions, more icons, or what have you. So we'll dive into the store a little bit more later. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the homepage, right? So you have 2 tabs here. You have games and you have rooms. So if I look at the games right now, there are 702 games being played at the moment. And basically this allows you to spectate any of the games. So you can scroll through every single one. If you see a player that you like, you can hover over these icons and you can see who the players are, what their karma is, and then you can also see what type of game they're playing based on these descriptions, which I'll break down when we go over rooms. But basically I can click on spectate, join the game, and just watch what's going on. So a lot of tournaments, you'll have players go in and spectate, or broadcasters spectate and broadcast the game so that they can be a commentator throughout the match. Now here are the rooms. You can continuously refresh the rooms to refresh the log, obviously. But obviously you can see here as well, you have karma, players, mode, title, elo, and action. So elo and mode and karma are all coming soon, but they're all pretty self-explanatory. Karma will be your karma of the 2020. You can already see it. Mode will likely be what game mode you're playing, and elo is basically your rank. So they're still trying to come up with a ranking system. Every single time you go into this homepage, you'll see that the first row is a bot game. That's basically you against 3 AI robots. And this is great to help practice. If you want to try out new strategies, if you want to, risk it for the biscuit and see how it plays out, or you're just looking to learn the game and learn at your own pace, this is a great method. Just hit play and it automatically throws you into a really user-friendly beginner match with 3 robots that you can play against. Next is multiplayer games. You can create your own games, and we'll dive deeper into how to create those. And then next you have the weekly free map. There are a lot of different maps and different play styles that you can play in Colonist, and they do a great job with providing a diverse range of maps and gameplay styles. And so every single week they provide a free map. So that allows you to test out the map, see what that map is about. And hey, if you really like it, you can go into the store, purchase it yourself so you can play it all the time at your leisure with your friends and family, whatever. Lastly, you'll see that there's going to be just a random list of all the games that are available. So as we mentioned before, over here under players, This is the number of players that max can join. And when they're filled out with a white icon, that means that someone has filled that spot. So this first room, for example, has a max player count of 6, and there's only one person currently in the room, which is Arthur. And as you can see here in the title, generally the title will give you a brief description of the important aspects of the game that you will be joining if you join. So generally, as you can see here, 5-6 player game. It's the base game for 5 to 6 players, and it's at normal speed, and it was created by Louis Zim. Now, if you go to this one, this is the base game mode, but you're using the gear map, and the gameplay will be fast. And this was created by Unstuck. So again, I'll refresh the page, and as you scroll, you can kind of see all the different games that are being played, all the different maps, and then when you feel like you want to, you can join a game and play with that group of people. Now, before we actually hop into an actual game, what I want to do is I want to show you the store. The store is really cool, so I'll click on the get icon. But as you can see, the main currency is called a Colonist coin. So if we click here, Colonist coins, you'll have all these different options for purchasing Colonist coins, and you see you can get bonuses depending on what tier you purchase at. So, get your money's worth, maybe splurge a little bit, who knows. And then as you can see here, you have 4 different categories. You have expansions, maps, color, and icons. Those are the 4 different things that you can purchase. These are the different expansions that are available currently. If you look at maps, you have the random map, Earth. You can have gear, diamond, pond, and this is really, really cool. This is something that is very difficult to do in person, because if you have the board game, you're limited to the number of hexagons that you have. You can obviously purchase more, or another set, or cut out paper, but honestly, this is probably such a cool way and the best way to experience different playstyles. Each map comes with its own terrain, so you'll have to strategize a little bit differently, and the games will be different. Next, we have colors, and with colors, you can basically just choose the color of settlement and pieces that you have. Right now, they're offering 4 colors: black, white, purple, mystic blue, but there are other colors, I believe silver, bronze, green. Some of them are default and everyone has access to them, but these you'll have to purchase or win through an event. Lastly, we have icons. I believe I got the Christmas hat and the colonist icon for free, but you can change your icon. This is how players will see you, with a pirate ship, a crown, a sword. So there's a lot of customization that you can do, and a lot of potential for different play styles, and just finding new ways to play the game. So highly recommend looking into this shop. All right. Please let me know in the comments below if I'm talking way too fast or too slow. But yes, now we've finished the entire homepage, which is awesome. So real quick, I just want to give everyone a round of applause. Great job. Great job. We got through the homepage, but we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. We're not done yet. Don't get too excited. So now we're actually going to go into a practice game. So I'll create a room, show you how to create a room, and then after the creation of the room, we'll go into the actual gameplay, and you can kind of see the different interfaces that we can use, the different buttons that we can utilize during the actual game to actually trade and play. So right here, I'll go to multiplayer, create the game. First off, I'm going to hit private game. Okay, so what this will do is it'll lock that room so that only the people that I want in here can be in here. Now, as you can see, the border is the same. You have the tournaments, the featured video, the online count, the Discord, the lobby chat still here. The only difference is these center 2 panels. So on the left, you have the room and the players. So right now it's just me, but I'll go ahead and add 3 bots. As you probably heard, there were sound effects with the bots that joined. We have Sabino, Kaylin, and Woody. It shows you their name, their icon, their karma, and then the color that they're using. And this is where you can change your color. Now, if we look here in the center panel, here is that title that we were talking about. So as default, it just has it as the game mode, the map, the speed, and who created the room. But you can go in and change it and customize it to whatever you want. Next, we have the invite friends. So this link is key. You will copy and paste this link, and you can share it to whoever you want. You can share it with me, your friends, your family, your grandma, your dog, whoever. But whoever has access to this link can then click on this link, and they will pop up right into your room. And the great thing about this is how you keep your rooms private. This is how you make sure you can control all of that. So when tournaments happen, this is obviously the main feature that we use. Private game, I already went over that. The hide bank feature, all these icons real quick. Slight tangent. All of these little icons that says I with a circle, that's usually information, and that'll give you basically what I'm saying in like a short little blurb. So if you ever forget, you can always just hover over this and this can explain what's going on. All right, so now for hide bank cards, you can turn this feature on or off, right? So at the beginning of every single game, you'll have 19 cards for every resource and 25 development cards. Now, if you leave this unchecked, everyone in the room can see how many cards the bank still has. And by being able to see that, you'll be able to, deduct how many cards are still in play and then how many cards the other three have based off of what cards you have. So this is an easier way to keep track of cards, at least a little bit, have a better idea of what's going on. If you have this checked, you will hide the bank cards, and the bank cards will actually just show question marks. You still will have an idea because it'll show 1 question mark, 2 question marks, or 3 question marks, and that indicates how many cards there are of that. So if there are 3 question marks, there's more cards in the bank. If there's only 1 question mark, less cards in the bank. Friendly Robber, for beginners, it's great, and it helps with progressing the game, especially early. Basically, what this does is everyone knows the robber is absolutely horrible. It blocks your production on any hexagon that it's touching, and if it lands, if someone places it on your hexagon, they have a chance to steal 1 card randomly from your hand. Nobody likes that. Everybody wants their resource cards. What Friendly Robber does is it makes sure that you cannot rob any player that has under 3 victory points. So this is really great for early development. If things are a little tough or you're still trying to get used to the game, this can really allow you to continue playing without having the fear of a robber cutting off your supply, cutting off your production, and having someone steal your card, because that never feels good. Next, we have the game modes. As you can see, these are all the different types of game modes, and they have a few that are coming soon, which is awesome. I personally am really excited for Cities and Nights, which is my favorite expansion. Here is the map. There are different maps. Obviously, again, this week they made the gear map free, so it's labeled as free, but you'll have to purchase any ones that you don't have. The dice, there are 2 options. You can have a random die or a balanced die. Random die are basically just exactly what it would be in real life. You have no control over what the dice rolls, and it's complete RNG. Balanced, on the other hand, will generally follow the bell curve of what statistically dice should show. So 7s, statistically speaking, would come up the most, and 2s and 12s will come up the least. Generally, that's balanced. It helps the flow of the game, especially if you're starting out, just to make sure you can accurately, I guess, predict how many of each roll you'll likely get, a little bit more so than RNG. I've had a few games where we use random die, and I've gotten more 2s than 10s, more 12s than 11s. It doesn't happen often, but it is obviously absolutely possible. So that's something to consider. Next, you have game speed. This basically controls how much time you have per step, whether it be placements, placing of roads, trading, anything like that. This controls, if you have normal speed, that's generally where it's at. But you can change that to fast, very slow, slow, or back to normal. Same thing, you have those exact same speeds for bot speed, and this is basically if a player leaves and a bot fills, or if you're playing a game with bots, you can control their speed of how fast or slow they go. So you start with normal, fast, slow. So this only has 3 options. Next, you have customization for max number of players. You can go anywhere between 1 and 8. But obviously, you need to purchase those expansion packs in order to access 5, 6, 7, 8 player games. So be wary of that. Card discard limit. There's a rule in Catan. If you have more than 7 cards and a 7 is rolled, you have to give up half your cards back to the bank, rounding down. So if you had 9 cards, you'd have to give away 4 back to the bank. If you had 10, you'd have to give away 5. So what this allows is you can increase or decrease that limit. You can play it as if you have more than 2 cards and a 7 is rolled, then you have to give up half, or all the way up to 21 cards. But that's something that you can play around with. And lastly is victory points required to win. You can go as little as 3 or as high as 20 points to win a game. And that basically sums it all up. The last thing we want to get to is the I'm ready button. When you have a lobby, basically all the players will indicate if they are ready or not. So you'll have to check this button. If anyone is not ready, you cannot start the game. And anytime any of these rules are changed, you'll get it in the log and everyone will automatically go to not ready. You can't really showcase that because these are bots, but what that allows is you can't basically like pull a fast one on any players in your lobby. Say you have the victory points to win as 10, but you decide to change it to 4 and you try to start the game, you can't do it unless everyone agrees. So right now, we're done. This is it. I'm going to hit I'm ready and I'm going to start this game up. All right, so now as you can see, we are in a brand new interface. Now, let's go over it real quick. Again, on the sides, you have the banners that show the Discord. Highly recommend joining the Discord. And then let's start off with the top left here. So we have 5 different icons. This arrow indicates that you want to go back to the lobby, basically leaving the match. This is a book that tells you exactly how to play. This was the same intro video that we saw earlier. This is your volume. I have mine set to 10%. Here are the settings, so you can change the animation, the anti-alias, resolution, and power. You can also review the rules of the game that you're currently playing. So this breaks everything down of the rules, and so that's a great reminder. Lastly, you have this, which is basically support, but it redirects you to the Discord server. Real quick, I'm going to be moving my camera up, so you'll see that happen live. La 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 la. And we're good. All right, so now we're done with that top right portion or top left portion. Let's go over to the top right portion. And here you will see the log. So basically, at any given point, this log will be completely updated every single time an action happens. Below here is the chat. So I can say hello and good luck, have fun. And this will be a way for you to communicate with the other players in your game. You won't always be in a Discord server with someone so that you can verbally communicate. So this is a great way to ask for potential trades, potential deals, and warn people of people who are close to winning. Chat feature is great. Here is the bank. So as we discussed, I did not turn on hide bank cards. So you can see that there are 19 of each resource and 25 of development cards. Now, if we did turn on hide bank, this is what it would look like. You will see that blown up on the screen right now, and that's what it would look like if we chose to do hide bank cards. Now, below the bank, we have all 4 players in the game. Diving a little bit deeper into each player, if you hover over each of the cards and icons, it'll give you a description, but real quick, these blue question marks are resource cards that are currently in that player's hands. These are development cards that are currently unrevealed in the player's hands. This trophy signifies the victory points. Then you have number of nights being played. Then you have number of consecutive roads placed. Then you have the remaining number of roads you have left, the remaining number of settlements you have left, and the remaining number of cities that you have left. So this is a great way to keep track of everyone else. It replicates as if we were playing in person, and I can look across the table and see all the pieces that you have left, but this compiles it all into this little tiny page, which is really nice. All right, so now the game has officially started. We finished our settlement placements and our road placements. Now you can see we got our initial resource cards based off our second settlement, and licked rolled at 10. And now you can see the log updates very well, and you can keep track of what everyone has if you really want to. Now, as you can see at the bottom left, these are the cards that I currently hold in my hand. I have a sheep, wheat, and an ore. And right now, red has offered up a trade. Red is going to offer a wood in exchange for a sheep. Now, I can submit a counter offer by clicking this pencil, and this bottom area has updated and I can change it up. So maybe I'll give it for wheat and I want a wood and a brick. Maybe that's my thing. And I can send the counter offer, and red has declined it. So I can now either decline this trade or accept it. So right now I'm going to decline it and hit the X button. Now it's my turn. And so this animation right here indicates that it's my time to roll. So I'm going to roll the die here, see what I get. So I rolled a 7. So I'll just place a robber down, steal from red. And now we have a few options. I want to dive a little bit into how to create a trade. So you can create a trade by clicking on any of the resource cards in your hand or by clicking the trade button. So I'll click that. Now I want to offer up an ore in exchange for a wheat. Now I can hit the check mark and send that trade out, and it got denied pretty quickly. So what I'll do is I'll make it a little juicier. Just for example, I'll give a brick and an ore in exchange for 1 wheat. So I proposed that trade, and as you can see here, things changed a little bit. Red and blue both have accepted. So if I click on either one of these players, the trade will commence. Orange has declined the trade, and now my options are I can decline the trade and cancel everything, or accept one of their trades. Now, one feature that I want to bring up, even though not many people use it, is basically enabling or disabling trades with other players, essentially creating an embargo against a player. People don't really do this because it leaves bad blood, but if you look at these icons at the top here, I can click on any one of these icons and disable a trading with that player. So if I click it here, I've now disabled trades with red. So now red will not be getting my trades and I will not be getting red's trades. But I can turn that back on at any time I want. And if I went through with the trade, I could exchange and you would see the transaction happen. For examples, I'll just do it. So now you saw that the animation happened, my resources changed. Lastly, here at the bottom, you can hover over the things that you can purchase and create. So you can build roads, settlements, cities, or purchase the development card. If you hover, it shows you the exact resources that you need in order to build. Right now, I only have enough for a development card, so I'll go ahead and build a development card, and I got a knight. Now, finally, to end my turn, I'll click on this button right here. All right, so now this concludes basically running through the entire colonist process from start to finish, understanding every little detail of the site of how to play and how to use the buttons properly. Stick with me, bear with me, everybody. This is the last portion of the video, I promise. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for coming this far. So this is my current profile. Right here, you can see that this is my name. This is the number of wins I've had out of all of the games that I've played. So I've completed 53 of the last 60 games. Total number of points that I've accumulated is 470. My average win percentage rate, the average number of points I get per game, my karma, and the total games I've played thus far. Here, obviously, you can see this is the color of my pieces, my icon, and my other icon. So this just showcases all the things that you have. And lastly is the history of the last 100 games that you've played. You can literally see the day, the exact day and the exact time that you played the game, what place you finished at. So here I finished last place in my first game. I only got 4 out of 10 points at the end of the game, and it took 66 turns for the game to finish, and it took 39 minutes. The check mark indicates if I completed the game or not, so it would be an X if I decide to leave. And lastly, you can see the 3 players that you played with. And if I click on these, it'll show me to their profile. So I'll click that and it shows up to their profile that loads up. So let's go back to my profile. But if you want, you can actually click on these I buttons to get more info on those specific games. So for example, let's look at this. On January 10th of 2021, I played a game. I got first, got 10 points, 68 turns. The game took an hour. So this is a long one. But if I click this I button, you can actually see the breakdown on if the other players finished the games, where they placed, how many points they got, and the exact specifications of the game mode and all the rules that you played with. So this is a great way to keep track of your progress, see your wins, your losses, and see the other players and see who you've played with, and it's a great way to just track everything that's going on. So I think that's really cool. And if that's something that interests you, then there you go. If not, then hey, you don't need to look at it ever again. But ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. You deserve another round of applause. Thank you so much for sticking with me here. I know that was a lot of info, but I really hope that this helped. I really enjoy this game. I really love this platform, and I really hope that this was insightful and informational for you. And if this video helped you at all, please consider liking the video, commenting down below, or subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Really excited to start creating a lot of content centered around colonists, whether it be tournaments or just more tutorials. And if this is something you're interested in, leave the comments and your feedback down below. I'd love to read through all of them and adjust and try to provide as much value to you all as I can. So again, thank you all so much. I can't wait to play a few games with you and create more content around colonists. And yeah, that's about it. So as a farewell, I always say, stay safe, stay you.